Okay, I'm going to show you how to design a LinkedIn carousel so that you can be one of those creators that doesn't just share text-based content. You can put some visual stuff on your feed as well. So we're going to do this on Canva. It's pretty straightforward, and once you have one template, you can easily recreate that same one. Just copy it and create a new one every time you want to share a new carousel. So I'm not affiliated with Canva. I just love the platform, and I use it often. But if you want to have the best features, definitely pay the monthly subscription cost. It's less than $15 a month. Totally worth it in my opinion. So let's start with the main page here. I'm going to kind of walk you through some of these here. So pick a font or a collection of fonts of your choosing for future carousels. So if you have some that you already use on your website, definitely use those, or ones that you are already using with your content in general. So also pick a color that matches your brand. For these carousels to have, but obviously you can switch it up as you see fit. So include your website on the bottom left right here, or a prominent social media handle that maybe you use on Instagram, or for me, I use @brandwithdan on all of my accounts. So I put @brandwithdan here. If I had a website I was trying to showcase, I could put that here as well. And then at the top left, you're going to want to put your first and last name. And then top right, it's going to be the page count. And then you can pick an arrow of your choosing down here on the right, and you can easily look up different ones up here. I would click it, but it's been moving slow and glitching out on me, so I'll leave that up to you. But just type in white arrow or orange arrow or green arrow, and what that will do is make it so it brings up a specific set of arrows rather than a whole spectrum of different ones that you definitely don't want to be using. So there's a lot of goofy ones in there is what I'm trying to say. So make sure you don't use any of the ones that are kind of wacky and obtuse and over the top. So yeah, so you have two options for layout that I showcase here, but when you're doing multiple, so I have this one right here, and then down below I have the second layout. So with the first one, you got your page number at the top, and you have your name. What you can do is you can bring your name down here and put it above your website or your social media handle, and then you don't have a page number at the top right. So when you're doing multiple of these a month, having the numbers at the top right can be a bit of a hassle. So that's why I included a second option here for you that's more user-friendly. It's more user-friendly over a long period of time. If you go with option one, I personally think it does look a little bit more aesthetically pleasing and more symmetrical. So I'll leave it up to you. But at the end of the day, I think it's best to probably go with the second option. That's the one that I personally use, because I got tired of going back and forth changing the page numbers every time I added a new page. It got to be a little bit obnoxious, and at the end of the day, LI already shows the page count before you click on it. Same with IG, so you don't necessarily need it, but again, I'll leave that up to you. So side note, if this gets above 10 slides, you cannot share it to Instagram. So keep that in mind if you plan on cross-pollinating these across multiple social media sites. LinkedIn can handle document sizes that are massive. IG only allows 10. So on the main page here, you are going to want to make sure that you capitalize all the words at the beginning. So if anything, think of your carousel like a miniature book. So that way, the main page of a book would have all the main words on the front cover capitalized, and then everything else would read just like any other book would read. So when it comes to the title slide, make sure that you're also very concise. Don't make it too long, or you'll end up disengaging your audience and they won't actually click on it and keep scrolling. I've made the mistake of putting 15 to 20 words on my main title slide, and I've gotten really reduced results from it. So try to keep it to one sentence, maybe 5 to 7 words. Those are good rules of thumb when it comes to designing your title slide. So when it comes to the body content, put spaces between each line of text so it reads more easily, just like you would a LinkedIn post. So I also wouldn't use commas. Instead, just put a line break to signal that there's a pause in the sentence. Hit the copy button to create a new tile. So whenever you get ready to create a new tile, you just click that button there and just swap out the words and just continue doing that until you have your full carousel laid out. And so also too, I would recommend writing your post in advance in a Google Doc or a Notes app, whatever you use, and then just bringing those, copy and pasting and bringing them into the carousel. That way you don't have to sit here and write the whole thing inside Canva. I find that can be a little bit unintuitive, so definitely writing it ahead of time can help save you on that hassle. So make sure you put a shadow behind the text to create contrast. Otherwise, this can end up looking really cheap. So as you can see, there's a shadow behind this. So how to edit this stuff, if it'll actually show up, there's an effect button up here. You just click the effects, and then you can bring down all these different features that you can use right here. You can do a splice, outline, glitch. Some of these are really I don't like them very much. I really just love the shadow, and then you can adjust based on this. You can do a lift as well, but sometimes the lift can look a little bit weird too, so definitely keep that in mind. But just make sure there's contrast, and also an additional part of this that I didn't include in my notes here, make sure you align these to the left. Some slides, if you have minimal words, you can put them in the middle and do a middle indent, but since it's meant to look like a book, make sure you indent to the left so it reads just like you're flipping through a book, okay? At least from the English language perspective. I know some languages read left to right or right to left and whatever else, so, but from the English language perspective, definitely do that. So, and then once you get to the final slide, obviously you have two options here: continue with more details about the subject, yada yada. But I think it's very important to include on the final page a few different calls to action. So follow my page, hit the bell, and comment below with your thoughts. Insert the subject of the specific post right here, and then whatever else you feel is necessary, you can include that here as well. Then include some sort of arrow pointing down to the comments. You can swap those out just like you can the original arrow. Pick something that's ideal for you. If you're an edgier person, maybe pick something with straighter lines. If you're fun and whimsical, pick something with some circles and make it a little bit lighter and more fun. So you can keep all of the corner details, but get rid of the arrow, because obviously it's at the end of the carousel, so you don't need that arrow anymore. And then in my opinion, this makes for a nice touch. Put in a picture of yourself. I think this adds some personality to the post, and it's just fun in my opinion. So let me show you how you do that. I'll go ahead and delete this out and then just show you how I've done it. So you just go over here to uploads. You upload the image that you like. I already have mine in here. As soon as it starts showing my stuff, I'll pull it in here and I'll show you what I do. So I have this one from the other day. I just take selfies of myself and I just use them in all my content. I use it in my selfie-based post, and then I bring them over to my carousel and I include them there. I put them in my YouTube thumbnails. The sky's the limit, right? So hit edit post, and then come over here. You can't do this unless you have the paid version, but hit background remover, which is a feature I love. You could put more details to it. You could put a shadow behind it, stuff like that. Then I'm going to flip it horizontally and bring it down here. And then if you're like me and you always want to put a grayscale on everything, you come over here to the filters and find the grayscale that you really like, or you can do something really wacky, make your skin blue, whatever. It really doesn't matter. So let me go ahead and find the one I like. It's in here somewhere. 1 second. Yeah, here's my grayscales. I just personally think the gray looks really good. It's subtle and not too over the top. So there's my gray. Simple enough, right? So you can do this one of your images, add that little extra layer of personality, and then you can also put a shadow behind it if you want to add a little bit more depth to the post as well. So that's it. Now the part that everyone screws up their first time posting a carousel on LinkedIn. Don't download as a PNG. You can do that with IG, but with LI you want to upload as a PDF, so download it as such. Also, yes, let me do that. I already downloaded it, and I have this here. So the other thing you want to do before you go to post, double check that it looks right in the PDF. So to download as a PDF, you just go here, you hit download, and then rather than doing PNG, you select PDF. It's that simple. So then after you download it, make sure you double check. Go back through. Look through it, make sure everything's lined up, because when you download as a PDF, things can shift ever so slightly. I don't know if that's just the nature of a PDF, but it's always good to go back through and check those effects that you've put in, make sure everything looks normal, scroll through the whole thing, because otherwise you're going to go to post it and then all of a sudden you're like, whoa, this doesn't look right. And then you got to go back and fix it and you got to correct everything. So that is the main thing on that I wanted to discuss with you. But then I just want to showcase where you can find the upload button on LinkedIn. So when you go to post, you have these 3 dots right here. You got your 3 options, but over here to the right, you have your add a document button. So upload the PDF into there, and that's how you make that work in that sense. So that's it. If you have any follow-up questions, feel free to contact me through the DMs on LinkedIn. I'm always happy to help in any way that I can. If you don't want to do this kind of work, there are several AI features, solutions that are coming up on the market. You got Carousel AI, you got Taplio is creating a new interface for carousels as well. It works pretty okay, but obviously they're in their infancy, so if you really want to have the ultimate control over this and really be able to tweak it the way that you want, you're definitely going to want to have a Canva document so that you can make all those changes and do it the way you truly want to do it. And if you don't want to do any of this yourself, my agency Ghostwrite can handle it for you. We can help you create your written content throughout the week and stay consistent every single day in the feed. But also, we're doing 2 carousels per week for our clients, so 8 per month on average. That way, you can stay consistent. You can also showcase a lot of detail. You can bring in pictures and images and really bring your brand to life in that sense. So if you're interested in that, feel free to reach out to me in the LinkedIn DMs. And otherwise, I hope this helped you. Have a great rest of your day and take care.